Hi, I'm Dr. Diane Lass, and I am a clinical psychologist. I have a private practice, Hope and Strength Psychological Services, and a nonprofit, Center for Hope and Strength, which is for domestic violence and sexual assault. If you were with us last week, thank you for coming back. And if you're new to our channel, thank you for spending time with us. This channel is set up to talk about life transitions. We all go through them, whether it is that we choose them or if there are transitions that are placed upon us. Right before COVID hit, I was sick for about 6 weeks. I'm not convinced that I didn't have COVID, but I was sick for about 6 weeks. And during that time, intuitively, I just felt like I shouldn't be connecting with other people. Family members brought by food and left them on my front porch, but I didn't have any social interactions with others. I felt really isolated. I felt a little bit depressed, and I couldn't help thinking about clients that I have had in my private practice that they were feeling, they were just having a difficult time with making new friends or social support. And at that time, I kept thinking that I needed to build a sense of community, whether it is like a support groups. And I thought all my clients need to meet each other because so many people are going through similar issues. So that was one reason why I thought that it was a good idea to form this channel on YouTube, was because it was giving me the opportunity to reach out to others and maybe connect with people on a a bigger scale. Because when COVID hit, obviously there was no way that I was going to form support groups. So the idea is this is a community for people to come together, discuss issues that are going on. I couldn't help but think about when I was at home and I wasn't feeling good. I was thinking about how I was feeling very isolated and alone, but how many people that feel that on a daily basis, that feel depressed and alone, and they don't have people to reach out to. So hopefully this can become a forum where we can reach more people and we can discuss the issues that are going on in a supportive community. So when I was at home and I'm doing nothing really but staring at the walls, I started thinking about redoing my backyard. And I know I mentioned it in the last YouTube, but if you haven't listened to that one, my husband passed away 11 years ago. And he was always the one that did any kind of remodeling. He was so talented, and he did everything. He refused to hire anything out. So when I was thinking about doing my yard, it kind of threw me off because this is something that I would have to do all by myself. Should I be spending the money? Is this a good idea? Do I know what I'm doing? And so I did end up going through with it. But I was listening to, a podcast or something recently, and it was by Bob Proctor. And he was talking about how he calls it ignorance, which I don't like the word ignorance, but basically that when we're not educated about something, then it creates worry. I may not be saying this exactly right, but it creates some kind of worry and second guessing ourselves. And that worry and self-doubt, which comes from the lack of education, creates a fear. And a fear of, I don't know what I'm doing. Should I move forward? Should I do these things? And that fear then creates anxiety. And then the anxiety is suppressed, which comes out in depression. And then then oftentimes within that framework, then people stop moving forward and doing things that they feel that are not comfortable or outside of their box. So I think that a lot of the depression comes from the fact that we're remaining stagnant and we're not growing. And so when I was redoing my backyard, I pushed through it and I was doing it. And honestly, I had maybe 3 meltdowns as to what am I doing? I don't even know if these colors go together. What was I thinking to do this all by myself? But then on the other hand, I felt empowered as well. So when we're going through all these life transitions, it's a change in your identity. Really, it's a forming a new identity. When whether it is that you're going through a divorce, whether it was a death like my husband, whether it is that a job came to an end, whether you choose to change careers, it's a change. It's being, who am I separate from this? The good part is we're establishing a new sense of self and who we are. Almost like you have one of those whiteboards, and this is what my life looked like. And because of making choices to change where our life is going, or whether it's something like I said, life just kind of imposes it on us. It's like our life, our whiteboards are wiped clean. And it's like, okay, the bad part is the whiteboards have been wiped clean. The good part is the whiteboard has been wiped clean. So whatever it is that we choose to put back on that whiteboard is what we choose to put on there. It's the things that make us happy. And sometimes we're not sure what they are. We might put something on our whiteboard and then decide, no, that doesn't even make me happy. And so we erase it and we put something else on there. All too often what we do is we look for, when we're trying to figure out our sense of self and who we are, we look for a lot of external validity. There's a social facilitation. What if we're doing something and we look to other people, or does this look like I'm doing the right thing? And so then we implement that into our personality. And the external validation is we look to other people to feel validated for what we're doing, whether it's a father figure, whether it's a partner, whether it's our siblings, society. If we do certain things and we get that external validation, good work, you did good, then we feel good about ourselves. We're like, okay, this is good, I'm doing the right things. But the reality is that we have to get our sense of who we are and that validity from internally, from ourselves. And otherwise, people have the ability to kind of throw us off. But when we feel grounded, that no, this is who I am. So I was the other day I was out in my kitchen, and I had this epiphany, this aha moment, which I absolutely love. It's one of the reasons I went into psychology in the first place, is because when you have those moments of clarity, they just feel so good that I thought, you know what? I want to help other people experience the same thing. So when I'm having my aha moment, I thought about,
I'm not sure I understand.
sorry about that. My watch just went off, like Siri or whoever. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Well, I don't understand a lot of stuff either. So anyway, back to my story. So I'm out in my kitchen and I'm thinking about this external, internal validity thing. And I was thinking back to a million years ago. There was someone in Palm Desert that I dated for seriously like 5 minutes, but I really cared about the guy. And there was a situation that happened to where he upset me, and I was irritated, and I should have been irritated. But the thing that I got out of it is he said to me, he said, Diane, I'm happy. You have to just work on making you happy, which to me pissed me off even more. But unfortunately or fortunately, years later, I thought about it and I thought, that guy he had a point. He had a point that I did need to work on on my own happiness. I think I was looking for more external validation than I should have. I didn't agree with the process, but the facts were true. So that's one thing to keep in mind as well. When there's something that other people do, I mean, I'm not talking abuse or anything, but, or being disrespectful. But sometimes when we're up against something and someone does something that really just pisses us off, sometimes it means that we have to stop and think, okay, what is going on with me? What do I need to put in check? Because there might be a little bit of truth in what's going on. So after I had this whole light bulb moment about how, well, what my light bulb moment was, is I realized in that time that I wasn't getting the external validation that I needed because I needed it to get it internally. And then the next day, I'm upstairs and I'm thinking, you know what? With all this internal validation, which really a lot of that came from working on my yard. As difficult as it was, I did a really good job and I'm proud of myself for it. And I felt empowered. And so I think that I thought to myself, you know what? Now that I'm feeling pretty good about myself, my identity, my purpose, I thought this is a time where I'm probably going to meet somebody. And my next point was, yeah, why didn't it happen before? And who do I want? And this whole idea in my head came up, which is, it hasn't happened in the past because you deserve more. But my next thought was, I don't know if it is about a deserving thing. Do we deserve the best? Absolutely. But I'm not so sure it's about the deserving. I had a client the day before and I asked her, what would you like in a relationship? And she, after a little bit of processing, she said, I want somebody just like me. And I thought, bingo, isn't that it? When we work on our own transitions and we come to a place that regardless of how other people feel, we feel grounded and sure and secure with ourselves. So we're going all through all of these life transitions. It's important there's these 4 R's that I came up with, I think from my head. And those are to reassess what's going on, to reevaluate how we feel about them, totally regroup and reestablish. And whoever it is that we establish is who we want to be. Yeah, are we going to have some hiccups or some bumps in the road? Absolutely. Is it an easy process? No, but we do deserve it. So it's interesting, isn't it? Because we start out talking about how there are certain life transitions that we choose in life. There's the other transitions that life places upon us. But the life places them upon us, and then we have to do the reassess, reevaluate, regroup, and reestablish. And after we do so, then we're making those life choices again. Comes full circle, and which comes with a new identity. So doing that whole new identity, we have to allow ourselves to be pushed outside of our comfort zone a little bit. It doesn't feel good. Change is always difficult. It brings about those uncertainties and instability. And so it's like what I was talking about earlier about new situations. Put yourself out there. Maybe it is that you're not normally very talkative in some situations. But he's like, you know what? I'm just going to put myself out there a little bit more. And then just kind of put yourself in check. Did I like that personality? I think I'm going to integrate it a little bit. Even though it feels foreign to us. It's like that as if principle, act as if you have it until you get it. And then integrate the parts of you that you like and put them on your whiteboard, and then leave aside the parts that that didn't feel good to you. But it's a sense of empowerment. And then own it. Do the things that make you feel good, that make you happy. And it isn't necessarily what other people think. Think less about that external validation. Flip it in to having that internal validation and just feeling good about yourself. So one suggestion is to get on this road to who am I? What do I like? What don't I like? What do I bring to the table? I would suggest, and we'll make a comment make a note in the comment section, but make a list of 20 positive qualities about yourself. Don't put, sometimes you just say, I'm loyal, just put I'm one time, but put loyal, funny, whatever the qualities are. You make 20 qualities. You cannot, for this assignment, you cannot ask for any help until you get to number 14. Then you can ask other people for their opinions. After you're finished with that, then read them back as if you are reading about a person that you just met. And you read through those qualities and you think, what would I think about this person? Would I want to be friends with them? And chances are you're going to think highly of that person and that you would want to spend time with them and be proud of yourself and really implement and integrate those qualities into your personality and identity as much as you possibly can. The other thing that we're going to do in the comment section, we're going to put a list of different life transitions. Like I said, ones that we choose, ones that life just brings about. Go through and look at those and make a note and comment to us and let us know which transitions that you're going through and which ones that you would like for me to discuss more. And I look forward to hearing from all of you. So when I sum up this whole issue or the transition that I went through in my backyard, I truly, truly love it. Love it. And I'm so glad I did it. It was very stressful. But part of what I did when I redid my yard is I got a Traeger. I don't know if you know what a Traeger is, but it's a Traeger grill. And I am so passionate about this Traeger grill. I cook all of the time. I call myself a Traeger geek. I put them on pictures of food on Facebook, everything else. But you know what? I don't care if it makes sense to anybody else. Half the time I'm not even that big of a meat person. And half of the time I'm making food and there's not even anybody here to eat it. But it makes me feel good about me. And I don't care what anybody else thinks. So that's my hope for you, that you go through your life transitions, you feel empowered, this is who I am, very grounded in it. And so next week, I'm going to tell you more about my Traeger and how that has helped me to move forward and feel really good about my life. So thank you once again for joining us. And I will see you next time, all about the Traeger. Bye.